Greetings, citizens. We come together today to watch the last moments of the Queen, Saida Jahan. Let's see if she has any last words.
My script. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all having a fine day. As it so happens, I have come here today not just to express my authority, but to speak to you all directly about something. You should realize you are only able to survive thanks to the help of others. A saying from one of my favorite shows, Mob Psycho 100. All of us have experienced many different things, crossing rickety bridges, overcoming formidable obstacles, and even being stuck on a problem. But the question is, how do we all get past them? For me, I have always relied on myself, but deep down, I know that it's thanks to those around me that I can achieve my goals. But I struggle to accept it a lot of the time, and keep dancing to my own tune. My goal in life has always been to succeed, but that requires skills and values I must develop. So to help myself and everyone else, I will be talking about some values I think we can share: gratitude and dependence. First and foremost, gratitude is an extremely important component for many people, including myself. It acts as a lens, allowing you to focus on the beauty in everyday life rather than the blemishes. For me, it was a lesson I was taught at a young age. You cannot grow if you do not appreciate. My mother always made sure I remembered it, but I cannot say I always did. I have always had the temper of a kangaroo and don't hesitate to react to things easily, even if it results in teeth marks on someone else. Although I have manners, I often forget to appreciate the little things in life. In the past, if my mother and I quarreled 10 minutes before dinner, no matter how fresh and well seasoned the meat she cooked smelled or how effortlessly tender it was, I would find it all unappetizing. Unfortunately for me, although I moved past the food issue as I got older, I still find myself sometimes complaining about the littlest things and ignoring what could be right in front of me. If the problem persists over time, for example in an official setting, this may cause me to be perceived negatively by my colleagues, friends, or even my superiors, because I am unable to remain appreciative of situations. So, to overcome this, I regulate my emotions through hobbies like journaling. With journaling, I will be able to keep track of my events in life, and more importantly, what I have. I plan on doing it for at least 15 minutes every day, and staying consistent so I never forget why I started journaling in the first place. Obviously, this cannot be attained on my own, so I'll ask my cousins with whom I live with to give me reminders with it, especially if she notices a negative change in my behavior. With our efforts combined, I hope to become more grateful and aware of the people and things around me by the end of this semester. My second value is dependence, which I find isn't talked about enough. Dependence is the reliance on others, something I need to do more often. More often than not, if I come across a problem, I shut down and seclude myself until I find my own solution, no matter how long it takes. But lately, I have noticed my limits cracking more and more, facade groaning. On one particular day where the weather seemed to be forecasting my mood, my frown was more prevalent than usual since I'd flunked my biology test and had math and Spanish assignments backlogged in my Chromebook. I knew I had a lot on my plate, but I had no idea how to portion my meal. I lamented every breath and moved restlessly in my seat as I listened to another lesson during geometry. Once the lesson part was over, the homework was passed out. As the extra brick landed on my shoulder, I felt a wave of exhaustion crawl down my spine. I had no idea what to do. Ready to bail out and put my head down and hope for the best, I heard the exasperated sigh of my table mate, my best friend, Diana. She dropped dead on me and told me we had to lock in and finish the assignment. However, out of habit, I told her I'd do it on my own, at home. However, I knew that I hadn't postponed it because I didn't want to finish it, but it was because I didn't want to burden her with helping me understand the concept when she herself had work to do. It wasn't exactly my first time pulling this stunt, but I was sure it wasn't going to be my last either. Yet, to my surprise, Diana retaliated instead. She was firm on us working together, but when I told her I didn't know what I was doing, she raised a brow and said, "So what?" Those words changed my view on reliance, as if a fog had been cleared from my mind that I didn't know was there before. It clicked to me that asking for help was never a crime. After all, I'd rather the sun set freely than with clouds covering it. Moving forward, I wish to become more confident in asking questions, working together, and being less independent by pushing myself from small queries to bigger ones. With the help of my friends and their motivation, I will become more used to stepping out of my bubble and asking questions. My goal is to become more comfortable in depending on another shoulder by the end of this semester, and I'll know when I've achieved it once I can ask my peers to help me without feeling any sort of shame. To sum it all up, these values are what I believe can help me improve not only in my social life, but also in my mental well-being. Without dependence, I'm like a ship without a rudder. I have no gratitude and I'm anchorless. By fulfilling these values, I find myself crossing smoother bridges, sliding past obstacles, and solving problems with much more ease. I know I've made many mistakes in the past, and I know I'll continue to make many more. But I also know that knowing these values allows me to know a clearer and brighter future. Thank you all for coming to see me, and I hope you'll learn as much as I did from this lesson, because life doesn't always give you second chances. Goodbye.
Saïda Jahan, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, states that you are hereby guilty for the theft of Madine Said's trousers via the death penalty. Ouch! My foot!
Pardon me, sir. I did not do it on purpose.